You are now tuned in to Power Podcasts, the Empower Hour. Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Brandi L. Bates, author of Moonshine for the Soul, The Art of Grind, and many other books. I'll be your host for tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Soledad Francis and on Instagram at Brandi is Winning, Brandi with an I. But most of these podcasts can be found archived on YouTube, hashtag Power Podcasts. But please listen to them while they are raw and fresh and still have all of their spirit and vitality by subscribing to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and or brandybates.podomatic.com. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? That's right. I said the next 5 years. The next 10 years. You'll look up and it will be here. What's your game plan? Somebody right now is listening to this 5 years from now. You're listening to this in the year 2025. 2024, 2019. What's your game plan? How do you feel about where you are today? Like really, honestly, be totally, completely, and utterly transparent and real with yourself. How do you feel about where you are today in terms of where you want to be? Some of us are so far away from where we would like to be. And I am here to tell you today that your greatest wins are yet to come. Throughout all of life's ups and downs, you have to keep your vision clear, crystal clear, aquafina. Everything but everything. Everything is trying to muddy your vision for your life. Understand, everything and everyone is constantly vying for your attention. We literally live in a day and age where your attention is on the auction block, and it goes to the highest bidder between Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and Snapchat and the local mainstream media, the news, and what's going on in your neighborhood, and who's sending you a text message, and who has incorporated you into the group chat, and what you have to do for work, and what you have to get done for school, and what you have to get completed at home, right? Everyone and everything and everyone is constantly vying for your attention. Your attention is a commodity. And when you understand that, you begin to value your solitude. You begin to value your time that is invested well, right? Social media, friends, family, vices, habits, proclivities, distractions, all of them vying for your attention. Listen, I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I don't care how many of these power podcasts you listen to. Know this about me, okay? I don't make a dime. I don't earn a red nickel, as we like to say, from you just listening to this. I'm pouring into this because I wish that somebody would have done this for me. You know, shit that it's common sense after you reach a certain stage in life. But when you're younger, or when you just are your mind, your eyes, the veil is over your eyes, and you don't understand, you don't completely grasp. You know, you don't always know who the enemies are. You don't always know who your adversaries are. You don't always know what the path is for your life. But this is real life, what I'm talking about today. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and question yourself. You have to get to a point where you check yourself, right? Your work, your body. Take a good look at your body right now. Close your eyes. Close your eyes right now. If you're not driving and you're not walking, close your eyes and imagine your dream life. What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? How do you get money? What are you eating? What's for dinner? What does your day-to-day look like? Who is a part of that reality? You have to be able to check yourself. And here's the thing. You have to be able to have a totally 100% open mind. You have to be able to hold two opposing thoughts and entertain them both. That's the sign of intelligence. That's the sign of intellect. Understand, I can listen to what somebody is saying to me and realize what they are saying to me is bullshit. But I can entertain them and think through their argument, think through their premise and their theories and embrace it, digest it, and spit it back out to them. And still it have no bearing on how I really feel about the subject at hand. And I say that to say you have to get to a point where you can deal with all different types of personalities. You have to be able to deal with those who are melodramatic. You have to be able to deal with the divas. You have to be able to deal with people with low self-esteem. If you're the person with low self-esteem, you have to be able to deal with people with a big head or people who have high self-esteem, who believe in themselves. You have to be able to deal with wherever you stand, whatever your stance is. You have to be able to converse with on an intellectual level with those who are on a completely different spectrum from you, right? David Deida says spiritual practice is the capacity to offer your love even when you feel hurt, even when you feel closed down, even when you feel tense, and even when you feel angry, misunderstood, or hated. The capacity to offer forth love. And what does that mean? That's not even on no, like, I have this saying, it's a running joke in my house. Like, I always have a saying, mama didn't raise no punk bitch, right? What that means is you have to be able to, you have to have thick skin. Because life isn't always going to be easy. Shit isn't always going to go your way. You're going to run up against opposition and adversaries and enemies and people who hate you, who don't even know you. Have never had a conversation with you. And yet, they've formulated an opinion of you based on what they've heard about you, based off of the color of your skin, based off of the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, who you convene with, right? They've already tabulated who they think you are. You have to have the capacity to offer, to give the fullness of who you are, even despite when you're mad, big mad. There are a lot of man children, a lot of kids, a lot of grown adult kids. The minute they can't get their way, they're fussing, they're fighting, they're throwing things, They've become 4-year-olds all over again. This could be a 37-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 54-year-old, and they become childlike, right? I remember when I worked on the corporate plantation, I would get up and I would go to work no matter what. Hungover, heartbroken, sick, cramps, going through it. It didn't matter. The weight of the world could be on my shoulders. And I say that to say resilience is learned. You have to teach yourself resilience. And you teach yourself resilience based off of how you handle situations that come at you. A lot of shit is going to come at you in this life. And in a lot of ways, that's why I'm grateful that I grew up the way I grew up. I grew up fast, and I grew up in the largest city in the United States corporate entity. And so I saw a lot of things. I experienced a lot of things at a young age. Shit that I had no business seeing. No business knowing what this was. But as I've aged, I'm grateful for those experiences because it gave me resilience. It gave me the gift of resilience. And some of you might not learn resilience till you're 32, till you're, resilience has nothing to do with the Gregorian calendar. It has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with the level, your socioeconomic status, or where you fall on, the scale of life. It has everything to do with what you're prepared for, what you are prepared for. But it's one of those things that I believe, in my humble opinion, makes you a better person. Because you have a lot of people that are struggling with anxiety and struggling with depression and struggling with post-traumatic stress disorders, struggling with bipolar, struggling with drug addiction, struggling with ready to kill somebody, right? Over internal issues that only exist in your mind at the heart of it. Not taking anything away from it, but it only exists in your mind. It only exists in your vision and your perception of your reality. And so, how big of a man or woman are you? How big of a man or woman are you today? There's no such thing as coincidence in our lives. What's happening is meant to happen. The good, the bad, the negative, the painful, the stressful, the hurt. It's unfair, meant to happen. And it's our job to learn from it. You don't get to choose the obstacle course. You don't get to fashion and formulate and design the tests that you will experience in this life. Your job is to learn from it. That's it. But they say, that's it. Learn from it. That's it. And the faster you can do that, the further you'll go. The more money you'll make, the better relationships you'll form, the more powerful networks you will become a part of. Understand, in this life, you will never rise any higher than your network. Tweet it, Facebook it, text it, write it down. You will never rise any higher than, any further than your network. If the people in your network relatively earn around the same amount of money, that's where you're going to fall, baby. Write it down. I don't care what you etch it. Quote me on that. Now, if your network is a network of millionaires and you're not a millionaire, in time, you will become a millionaire. But if the pinnacle of your network is $37.2 thousand a year or $49.8 thousand a year with bankruptcies and a 620 credit score, guess what, baby? Guess what? You're going to be the average of that. And it's less of a spiritual thing. It's less of a law of attraction and who you attract thing as it is. It's kind of like the saying, if you know better, you do better. You are where you are because you don't know any better. If you knew better, you would be doing better. If you knew how to get more money, you would be getting more money. If you knew how to heal yourself, you would be healing yourself. Right? If you can change the thoughts of your consciousness, you can change the vibration of your body. If you can alter your body and your emotions and feelings, you can master just about anything. That's why I respect bodybuilders. That's why I respect men and women, the before and after, who have put in work. I'm not talking about go buy a body. You went and got gastric bypass and got your stomach stapled and your skin grafted. No, people who went from 800 pounds to, put in work, did the work, sweat equity. Because if you can change the thoughts of your consciousness, you can change the vibration of your body. And if you can alter your body and your emotions and feelings, you can master anything. And that's the rub. Because most of us, we can't control our habits. We cannot control our proclivities. We cannot control those hidden desires that we don't talk about. Shit you into. That's holding you back. And at some point, you got to keep that same energy that you give out to other people when you judge them. Quick to judge somebody, quick to cancel somebody. Like your shit don't stink. Like you never been through struggle. What's the saying? If you point one finger in judgment, there are always 3 fingers pointed right back at you. Point one finger in judgment, 3 fingers pointing right back at you. When you're winning, when everything is moving in your direction, keep that same energy. Understand, like Carl Jung said, to be normal is the ideal aim of the unsuccessful. Because I've said it before, the people who are winning, all the people who are winning are breaking all the rules. I don't care if it's the NFL, the NBA, Hollywood, corporate America, law, business, philosophy, sports, you name it. The groundbreakers are the people who are winning. If you're doing shit by the rules and what everybody else is doing and stat quo, you're not moving. You're going with the flow. You're going with the flow, but you'll never stand out. You might live a good life, but you'll never truly, because you're not happy. No one is ever happy just going with the flow. Because going with the flow is a generic spirit. It's a generic concept. It's a generic idea. It's like a one size fits all, right? What's the saying? Well-behaved women seldom make history. The rebels and misfits get noticed and put in the history books. That's who's in the history books. The Harriet Tubmans and Amelia Earharts and Abraham Lincoln and Mandela, Madiba, right? You normal? You regular? You're not going into history, but nobody gonna remember shit you did. Going with the flow? You with the mob mentality? When you're with the mob mentality, you blend in. You're not colorful. People are rarely aware of the real reasons which motivate their actions. People's desires are in charge, not the intellect. Your desires run you. Your ego runs you. And you know how I know? It's not so much about caring about what people think. It's about feeding into the need to be seen, feeding into the need to be loved, feeding into the need, the desire, the hunger, the thirst for attention. That'll destroy you. You got to get to a point where you don't give a shit about what anyone says about you. You don't care about what anyone thinks about you. That's when you really begin to elevate. Think about any great man or any great woman or any great thinker, philosopher, intellectual, you name it. Any great soul who has walked this planet. They didn't care what anyone thought about them. If it went against the grain, they went against the grain. Even if it brought persecution, even if it brought judgment, even if it brought condemnation, right? Because the ordinary waking consciousness is a useful and indispensable state of mind, but it's by no means the only form of consciousness. And it's not even the best form of consciousness. I was just talking to someone recently about the experience of being under the influence of an entheogen, i.e. ayahuasca, i.e. shrooms or psilocybin, i.e. LSD or microdosing, right? And I'm not encouraging that. I'm just alluding to it. But you will learn that there are several different forms of consciousness. We all may look alike, but there are different forms of consciousness walking among us every day. And I say that to say, before you judge anyone, take a good look in a full-length mirror, not a regular mirror, a full-length mirror, a good look, head to toe. It's sad that we wait until people have transitioned to respect them and their works and their contribution. Understand, just because the world may not have recognized your art or your worth doesn't mean you aren't popping. Okay, you wrote a book. A lot of people didn't notice it. You didn't get a lot of readership. You produced an album. You didn't chart. You didn't get numbers. You went out for the team. You went out for the cheer squad. You went out for the position. You didn't make it. That don't mean you're not popping. That doesn't mean you're not brilliant. They just haven't recognized yet. And sometimes it requires you being gone for good, forever, for people to miss you and value you. Sometimes it will take you dying for people to appreciate, for people to claim and love you. Think about Marilyn Monroe, Jimi Hendrix, Van Gogh, Beethoven. Sometimes they only respect you when you are gone. Keep that same and keep it going. Just because they're not feeling you, they haven't recognized you, it doesn't take away from your genius. And this is true for almost every great artist, from Michael Jackson to Van Gogh. Those are just the facts. Those are the facts. Appreciate people while they are here, because one day you look up and they are not here anymore. Appreciate how good your life is at this moment. If you accept the fact that your relationships are here to make you conscious instead of happy. Because see, that's the thing. We're looking for happiness. And that's bullshit. Happy is bullshit. Because happy is fleeting. Happy is not consistent. It's a fleeting thing. And when you think about it, any emotion, all emotions are fleeting. Even when you're angry or depressed, you're not always angry or always depressed or always mad. You go through waves. You go through seasons. In any relationship you may have a job. You don't always hate that job, right? There are some days it's popping. You love it. You may be in a relationship. It's not always terrible. You have good days, you have bad days, because we're human. And anything dealing with humanity, it deals with inconsistencies and imbalance, because that is the human animal. But if you accept the fact that your relationships are here to make you conscious, then your relationships become these wonderful self-mastery tools, and you begin to see slivers and slices of yourself in all your relationships. And you begin to see how you are pulling and attracting certain situations into your life, into your world. And you become woke. Your relationships keep realigning you with your higher purpose for living. They call out to your higher self. Those of us who are parents, if you're a mother or if you're a father, you know what I'm talking about. You didn't realize, your life was good and it had meaning, but the day your child is born, the day you have a child, like, the game has changed. The game has changed. You're like, oh, okay. This is what it's about now. It's not about me. It's not about me. Some people, it's their pets, or it's their Corvette, or their job, or their horse, or whatever, But when you compete with you, there will never be a second place. That's going to hit you next Wednesday. There is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you and your physical body right here, right now, and the soul, source, or God, whatever you call it, from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you'll then and only then have the stable footing to proceed into other relationships. You have to get that right. That part right there. You have to get that right. See, we've been doing it backwards. You have to get your shit together first. It doesn't work any other way. See, we think, okay, if I get a good job, go to school, get my degree, get this and that, etc., etc. No, you have to get your shit together first. Get your shit together first. Get you together. Get your mind right. Get your soul right. You know when you're not right. You know when you foul. You know when you being ugly. As the old folks used to say, "Ooh, that's you being ugly," right? Get your house in order first before you go out and pull someone else into your chaos. If your house is not ordered and orderly, if your house is not in order, if you are not together, then you will pull people into your chaos and create bigger hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes of chaos. Your relationship with your own body, your relationship with money, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with children, your grandchildren, the people you work with, your relationship with your government, your world, your day-to-day will all fall swiftly and easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental primary relationship first. And I'm telling you what I know to be true facts. You can take it to the bank. What I'm saying to you right now, you can take it to the bank. You can cash this check. And there is no sweeter day than the day you find peace. Wasted potential crushes your spirit. That's what crushes our spirit. Not heartbreak. Wasted potential. You're thinking about what could have been. You know what depresses people and angers people and saddens people is you're thinking about what could have been, what should have been, and not focusing on what is. Let your dominant intent be to find that which pleasures you as you imagine it. The rule of thumb is this. You never take action when there's this, negative, dark, brooding, omnipresent, ominous emotion within you, because it'll always be counterproductive. You have to catch yourself, check yourself when you're feeling, and when you feel it, right? People get on your nerves, the things they say rub you the wrong way, etc., etc. But always talk to yourself. You gotta talk to yourself. Pour into your own spirit. Because when you speak words, you are the first to hear it. Have you ever, case in point, I'm going to do this. Quick exercise. Close your eyes if you can. If you're not walking, you're not driving, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Say to yourself, this is going to be best day of my life. Don't say it with your mouth. Keep your mouth closed. Keep your eyes closed. This is going to be the best day of my life. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm happy. What else can I experience today that will make this the most amazing, the most breathtaking, gorgeous day ever? Now open your eyes. Who said that? Who said those words? You didn't open your mouth. You didn't say it, but you heard it. You are the first. You are the observer. You are the listener. So even when you're talking shit to people, or you're condemning someone, or you're speaking ill, you are the first to hear it. Always talk to yourself and pour into your own spirit with words of affirmation, with build yourself up. Don't tear yourself down. Speak affirmations into the crevices and stitches of your soul until you feel better, until you feel rejuvenated, until you feel rehabilitated, right? There will come a time when you get sick and tired of the shit you're doing. Trust me. You'll get to a point where what you're doing is not working, and you know it's not working, and everyone else knows it's not working, and you'll get tired of it. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, just not working out, not eating right, not caring about what you're putting into your body, you name it. But speak affirmations into the crevices and stitches of your soul until you feel better, and then follow the inspired action that comes from that open mouth. You are eternally evolving. You are eternally evolving. There will come a time when you get sick and tired of the world the way it is. But you'll learn even the world, the way you view the world, has everything to do with you and not the world. And that's going to hit you next week, Thursday. You're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing it the way you are. Find a way of eagerly anticipating future changes. Like, what is your future going to feel like when you get that new car, when you get your body right, you get your mind right, your money is back popping, right? Eagerly anticipate future changes while at the same time be in love and satisfied with who, what, where, and how you are, how you're showing up. As you are. Love you as you are today, as is. I literally read my future 101 goals and aspirations out loud to myself. At one point I was doing it every day, but life gets in the way, and kids and work, and but I would encourage you, if you have the time, do it every day if you can. When you start the day and when you end the day, read it out loud, because again, you're the first one. You hear you first. And all day you've been parroting all this bullshit. You've been singing song lyrics and talking shit, talking to your friends, you talking to your mama, right? Bullshit. None of it is uplifting. None of it edifies you. Gossip. And your spirit hears all the same. It can't distinguish between you're joking, you playing, and you are speaking into your future. And so that's why it's imperative that when you start your day, you speak, whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation. Well, the first thing you do when you get up, are you grabbing your phone and buying into and feeding into the machine? Or are you feeding into yourself? Are you feeding yourself? Are you speaking into and pouring into yourself positive affirmations, your goals? What do you want your life to look like? What is your future going to look like? Where are you going to live? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be making your first million? Are you going to be making your first billion? Are you going to be traveling? Or are you going to be in that same cubicle, driving that same piece of shit, doing the same thing you're doing today, 4 years from now, 14 years from now, 40 years from now? That's up to you. So make lists of listen, I'm not playing with me. Y'all can play with yourselves. I'm not playing with me. You got one life, and it's short. In the grand scheme of eternity, your life is super fucking short. Trust me. You think dog years are short. In the grand scheme of humanity, you're going to be dead a lot longer than you are alive. Give yourself a fighting chance to enjoy it while you're here, right? Make lists of positive aspects. Just in writing it out, and the premeditated plans of success, health, happiness, love, property, prosperity, and money should enliven you. Whatever it looks like. If you're an artist, if you paint the picture, paint the image of what your future, the beautiful future that you envision for yourself, what does it look like? What are the colors? Are you a mountain man? Are you a beach bum? Are you living on a lake? Are you free? Make lists of things you love. I mean, what do you love? Like, what do you love? Not lust. Love. Love is heavier on the periodic chart of elements than lust. It's a heavier emotion. Holds more weight. Never complain about anything. Nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Don't complain, because when you complain, you're saying to the universe, you're saying to God, you're saying to yourself. You hear it first. When you complain, you're saying that you're powerless to this reality. You're powerless to what is. You have no power to change or to challenge or to design or to orchestrate or architect your reality. The real architects, the real directors, the real producers are making it happen. They're not complaining about it. It's not your job to transform the world for others. It's your business and your job to transform this world for you. This is how you begin to tune into what you are and who you are, and the whole world will begin to transform before your eyes. There is no lack in the multiverse. See, they taught us lack. So a lot of us operate out of scarcity and lack because we don't know anything else. Everything you could possibly want, everything you could possibly conceive of desiring or needing can be found in this world. And you can take that check to the bank. Financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the perfect job, the perfect career, the perfect relationship, your dream home, your fantasy car, your fantasy relationship, your fantasy day to day, your dream life. It's all here. Because you didn't pull it from the cartoons. You pulled it from something you saw. But you have to tap in and tune in to that vision. Very little is needed to make a happy life. Very little. But it's all within you. In your way of thinking. Stay with me. Albert Camus said, I love Albert Camus. He said, you will never be able to experience everything. Somebody said, you can experience a lot, but you can have a lot, but you won't get everything. You'll never be able to experience everything. So please do poetic justice to your soul and simply experience yourself. All the layers and facets of you. Everyone's still healing from things they don't speak about. I don't care how strong someone looks. They're dealing with something. We all are dealing with scars. I promise you, there is no orgasm. There is no orgasm as great as how it feels when you truly 1000% forgive someone and it no longer has any pull or weight on you. And you might be thinking, okay, if you say so. I get plenty of good, right? I get plenty of good orgasms. But again, that's going to hit you a couple years from now when you have to forgive your parent who neglected you, who didn't support you. The kids who disappointed you. Your lover, your man. The woman who broke your heart. Yourself. The world is a playground for the wise and a graveyard for the foolish. Start and end each day with gratitude. I don't care what happened. I don't care what's going on. Start and end each day with thanks. Don't let any other woman or man control how you feel. You are the master of your destiny. You are the controller of your day. Pay close attention and notice signs and synchronicities. Journal your manifestations. Write the vision. Make it plain. Buddha said, the trouble is you think you have time. Y'all keep playing with life. Keep playing with life. Thinking it's sweet. Thinking it's a joke. You're not promised tomorrow. You are not promised next year. You making plans for Christmas. You making plans for next year as though it's promised, as though it's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. And that in and of itself should make this moment precious. And eventually you'll end up where you need to be, with who you're meant to be with, and doing what you should be doing. Separate the observed from the observer, and abandon false identifications. You are not your, and this is one of those things I get into debate with a lot of people. You are not your gender. You are not your ethnicity. You are not your race. Those are things that are, those are facets of how you showed up in this world. But it's so much bigger than that. You're so much bigger than that. You're so much more than that. Sometimes you have to let go of the picture of what you thought life would be like and learn to find joy in the story that you're actually living. Understand, we are all perceiving different versions of reality based on our prejudice, based on what we say is good or bad or ugly or beautiful, etc., etc. All you can do is grasp the central point that reality is not an event, and it does not happen, in that whatever happens, whatever comes and goes, is not reality. See events as events only. The transient as transient. Experience as mere experience. And you have done all you can. Stop reading into shit deeper than what's there. Right? Then you're invulnerable to reality. You're no longer armored against reality as you were when you gave reality to events and experiences. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? To wake up to the truth, you have to have a ninja mentality. Whatever I say, the power is in you to understand and experience. It's you who, according to your emptiness, according to your wisdom, it's you. It's you who converts something into a gem or not, right? If every morning for the next 30 days, right? Every morning for the next 30 days, you begin your day by saying, I intend to see, I expect to see, no matter who I am with, no matter where I am, no matter what I am doing, I intend to see that which I want to see. You will change the momentum of your life experience. I learned this from Will Smith. Two and two is what you want it to be. Not what some mythical, someone outside of you said this is what it is. Again, this is going to hit you like next week on Tuesday. 2 and 2 is what you say it is. If you say this experience is negative and it's depressing and it pisses me off, then guess what? That's what it's going to do. If you say this experience is beautiful, it's uplifting, it's empowering me, it's making me better, it's strengthening me, guess what? That's what it's doing. Either way, you're right. Either way, you're right. It's your world, baby. It's your world. It's your world. Like, seriously. It's your world. You are a physical extension of that which is non-physical. You give energy to whatever you praise. You give energy to whatever you talk about, whatever you stress over. Don't follow anyone else's path. May each go his or her own way. Instinct is a gift. Instinct is a gift. Go to the library today. Get you some books. Let's get this knowledge. That's where the bag is. The bag is not in this bullshit. The bag is it's in the library. Tighten up on your skills. Tighten up on what you know, what you can contribute, what you can bring to the table. Very few people can bring a whole lot to the table. A lot of people talk about it. I don't care how you looked. What can you bring to the table? Cloak every space you touch with your essence and with love. Thank you so much for listening. Go out and have an amazing day, a superb day. Give, uplift, empower somebody. Peace.